Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. It's the brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting onto the elect. And I have an article here I wanted to go into real quick. Today is December the 20th, 2024. All right, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And, like we've been saying through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, that 2025 is definitely going to be a heavy year, all right, of prophecy, all right, specifically highlighting the troubles that's to befall the earth, okay? And we've seen the signs that's leading to that. That's why we can say through the Spirit that 2025 is going to be one heavy year. All right. Over the past couple of years, really since 2020, all right, we've seen these elites start to make their move, all right, towards that so-called New World Order agenda. And, you don't have to be a genius to figure it out, because they come out and tell you, right, pertaining to Psalm the 64th chapter, right, the Heavenly Father said he's going to make their tongue to fall upon themselves, right? Everyone that seeth him shall flee. Okay, so we're in the time where Esau is literally, telling on himself, because he's reached a level of pride, okay, that he doesn't think he can be ever taken down, right? Who shall bring me down to the ground, right? So that's their mindset. So, all their efforts, all right, is being put out on Front Street, and the men of the Lord are watching it closely and giving warning, all right, to the elect, all right, those who are destined to listen to this and use it as a means of guidance, all right, in a time of trouble. Okay, as the scripture says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil to come and hideth himself, right? But the fool passeth on and is punished. Okay, so 2024 has been more of a year of the Lord showing you things. All right, a lot of things happen. Look at what's going on, events in the Middle East, so-called Middle East. All right, to speed up the World War III prophecy. All right, we've seen all that in 2024. All right, so pretty much gearing up for 2025. All right, and who knows, they might pull out the same playbook that they did back in 2019, 2020. All right, where they pulled this whole demic thing, whatever. They might. Who knows? But they're definitely setting up for something heavy. All right, I say that because I'm going to go into this article here. It says, terror threat, right? That's a very interesting thing, all right, to think about, especially in the so-called holiday season. Over the past few months, you heard the FBI director, all right, Christopher Wray, he kept, hinting that, hey, large gatherings and things like that are going to be red flags type shit. Like, yo, you might not want to do that this holiday season, because you got so-called T's out there, both foreign and domestic, right? They got to put that in there, and they've occupied the homeland, and it's just a matter of time before they start wilding out, and then they always got to put it, in context with, oh, it could be a Russian guy or Iranian or, Palestinian, they play games. But with all that games that they play, if you listen closely, they'll tell you some things that you could kind of like use as a hint to lead into other things. All right. So let's read it. It says, T threat. New York City now deploys largest military presence in subways since 9/11 aftermath. Okay. It says, New York Governor Kathy Hochul beefed up the number of New York National Guard members patrolling NYC subway stations, marking the largest military presence in the city's subway system since the aftermath of 9/11. Okay. So, personally, I think it's more of a conditioning, right? Because eventually what's going to happen is America is going to, a lot of these major states, I should say, right, is going to turn into police states. All right. Remember, the agenda is to have what is known as 15-minute cities. Okay, 15-minute cities, otherwise known as uh, 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 prison cities. Okay, and how they're going to do that is by, of course, they have all these so-called natural disasters. All right, they have AI, but in order to get people to that point, they're going to use the military. Okay, they're going to use the military, man. That's their teeth. They're going to use the military, and the military has a whole lot of so-called toys that they're going to be playing with. Okay, and over the years, we've highlighted some of these projects that they're working on. You know, you got DARPA, and underneath that, you got Boston Dynamics, and so on and so forth. So, you know, they got some things going on, right? But yeah, this is more of a conditioning, right? More of a psychological conditioning for people to kind of see troops around you and letting your guard down, meaning that you're associating having the military presence as a form of peace, but it's not. Okay, whenever you see the military, it should be in the time of war. Why the hell you got military in the subway stations? That means that they're gearing up for war against you, the people. And I'll tell you why. As we read, it says, this heightened security measure coincides with mounting public hysteria over unidentified drones in New Jersey, New York airspace, and the rising threat of T-ism. All right. It says on Wednesday, Governor Hochul told reporters that 250 additional Guard members will join the already deployed 750 Guard members to combat. Listen to this. They're literally trying to make it make sense, right? They want you to believe, right, that they're using National Guard members to combat grapes, so-called murders, and robberies that plague New York City subway systems. Make that make sense. Like, what has the world come to? You need the National Guard, the military, to come in and combat this? So what's the police? What are they for? What are they going to be doing? I mean, they don't call them police. They call them law enforcement. Yeah. What are they going to be doing? Right? It says in March, when we heard about March, right, the month of war, when we heard about the initial deployment, we asked, what did they ask? We asked, what? Hold on. What happened to the rest of it? Right. We asked, do we really need rifles to combat criminals in the subway? Seems like there has been an ongoing T threat. Okay. And then it says here, this marks the largest, it says terror threat or T threat. NYC mobilizing 1,000 National Guard troops in subways. And it says this marks the largest military presence in the city's subway system since the aftermath of 9/11, local paper Gothamist noted. Right, very interesting that they will be the ones that they're using, right? Gothamist, right? Because when you go into that word Gotham, I believe it's what does that mean? It's like an enclosure, right? Where like a homestead, you know, typically where goats are kept, right? A Gotham. So when they say Gotham or Gothamist, right? Gotham is like basically New York City where goats are kept, right? And you got sheep, you know, all kinds of different stuff in there, you know, and the sheep and the goats are what? The people, the goyim, so to speak, the cattle, so to speak. Okay. And they're kept in a Gotham, right? Gotham City, right? New York City is called Gotham City for a reason, right? Because that's where all the sheep and the goats on the damn plantation, all right, make things work, right? You got those who are running into the businesses, right? You got the trucks who are delivering. You got the cab drivers running around, right? You got the government cars running around, right? And people are all working. Buildings going in and out, doors clanging and banging all day. You know, it's a busy world, so to speak. Wall Street is in New York City, right? So it's a place that's, it literally pushes, is like the engine, right, of the economy, if you will. Let's go back to the article. It says, I'm busy. Hold on. It says, the governor said, I've heard from many people that the presence of the National Guard has made not just a physical difference, but a psychological difference in how they feel about safety. You hear that? Listen to the verbiage, right? This witch bitch, man. She said it's made not just a physical difference, right? But a psychological difference. Why are you so worried about psychological, man? You know, what is again, it's a conditioning method. Okay? It's a conditioning method that they're doing, man. It's all psychological. The more you see these motherfuckers in the street, in the subways and everything like that, and what are they doing over there? Right? They say that they're combating grapes and murder and all this. Ain't nobody doing no grapes and murders right in front of you niggas, man. Right? You're not stopping no rapists and murderers every time you niggas pull up on the. All they do is see random people. You might be walking. They'll pull up some old man who's walking, minding his own business. Hey, sir, can you come over, open your bag so we could check? This is what you niggas is doing? The National Guard come over there. That's what y'all do? You know, it's very annoying too. It's like there's so much going on. There's so much other things that y'all could be worried about. Right? But again, it goes to show you who is the main focus. The people. Okay? The ordinary, regular American people. They're not worried about criminals who are, if they were, they wouldn't have never opened the border for all these people to come in here. Right? So it's all done by design. No one in their right mind is going to sit there and say, oh, I'm an MS-13 member. I'm going to come out here when the troops are right here and hope that nobody's going to stop me. Like, come on. You know, so they're stopping everyday people going to their jobs or coming home from work or whatever the case may be. And you got the National Guard right there and everybody's walking in a line and they're being told, hey, you come over here, open your bag so we could check, make sure everything is good. And then they comply. You know? And the way the military is kind of standing, the way the guards are standing, it's very strategic. You know, they stand next to their turnstiles, right? So it's like almost like herding cattle. Like you just standing there and picking out whichever cattle you want. Hey, you come over here. Just again, it's for the public to see. And that does not make people feel safe. All right. If anything, you feel a little uneasy. Like, why are these dudes all here? Like, what's going on? You know? But they want you to believe that it's making a psychological difference. It's making you feel safer. Feel safer. Like what? It says when people see a person in uniform, NYPD, MTA, Transit, even our National Guard, they feel more secure than why it's a deterrent to those who would break our laws and threaten our riders. That does not even make sense. Right? The feeling of being secure, just the feeling is more important than the actual deterrent. Like being there makes no criminals come around type. That's the way you feel is more important than actually why we putting these niggas out here. Is more important than why we put. This is crazy. Is that they see that. It says they see that that sense of security. That if they have a problem, there's someone there to help. Please, you gonna sit there, you gonna die, boy. Look, just like New York, just like NYPDs, right? If there's a crime happening, these dudes don't come in there, stop it. They come there after the fact. You know, you got all these cops everywhere you go, every corner you turn, we running around left and right, right? But yet there's so much crime going on, and it always happens. They're all there, but it always happens, and then they come in and then, hey, we got to investigate, you know, cover the place, block the roads. It's just a game, you know? It's just a game. And very soon, like we always say, 911 is going to need 911. All these American people who have faith in their so-called military and their police force, and I support the cops and this and that, that's fine, you know? But just understand that they're not here for you, the people. They serve a purpose. Law enforcement. Okay? So whoever is given the law, they're there to enforce it, whether it affects you or not. And most of the time, it looks like it does affect the people. Okay? They make laws to restrict your freedoms, so-called. And very soon you'll find out exactly what we mean by that. There's all preparation for that, by the way. All right, it's called police state. It says, Hochul credited the increased military presence first deployed in March with making riders feel safer. Right? Sure, increasing the number of Guard members to combat subway crime might make sense, but why not simply beef up NYPD patrols? You see, this is where we at now. Right? This is where we at now. Prior to so-called 911, you didn't really see like that. People just freely moved back and forth. That was freedom. And then it happens, the primary reaction solution, they cause a problem. The people react, oh my goodness, we need to keep our streets safer. What is the government going to do? Well, we can't. The only thing we can do is bring the military in here. We're going to keep you safe. Right? And the next thing you know, hey, in order for us to keep you safe, we have to identify who you are every single day you pass by us. Hey, in order for us to keep you safe, you have to pass by here and scan your hands or your forehead and get that MOTB, and then we can keep you safe. Hey, in order for you to be safe and protected, you need to stay in your house and do not step out, do not see your family, do not eat what we tell you not to eat, right? As a matter of fact, turn off all your lights and your TVs and your heater, even though it's cold, because of your safety. Yeah, you're going to see. So continuing says, there must be something the government is failing to tell folks in NYC, just like the feds went weeks with keeping the public in the dark about mystery drone flights in the region. Well, you're going to find out soon why that was happening. All right. It says the most alarming issue NYC faces comes from disastrous Biden-Harris open borders that flooded NYC with upwards of 200,000 unvetted migrants, some of whom may be pre-trained T's or Tiets. All right. Terroristas. Right. It says in the short term, the threats of the homeland are rising, as described by Dr. Mahmood Singhis, an associate professor and research faculty with TISM, Transnational Crime and Corruption Center, and the SCAR School of Policy and Government at George Mason University. God dog, man, you got all these. And he has no idea what's even coming. You got all these doctorate degrees and has no idea what's actually about to happen. It says, while Hoko claims beefing up the Guard's presence to the highest level since the aftermath of 9/11 is merely to combat crime, the expanded deployment is likely a response to a more significant threat than drug addicts and rapists, considering Democrats have transformed America into a TS playground with open borders. Right? Well, it's all a setup for something major, right? So when they have the troops out there, when they enact martial law, not if, but when they enact martial law, because it's coming, okay, you're going to see a dynamic change, quick. And then you're going to realize, damn, these motherfuckers were not here to help us or protect us from rapists and murderers and, shit like that, right? So it's coming, right? I think yesterday, I saw a video of, and I think they said San Diego. I'll see if I could put it up in the post edits. And you had a long, nice train of military armaments, right? Now, of course, when you look at it for the first time, you might think, well, maybe, San Diego, right? The Marines, they got some type of military stuff going on out there. So maybe it's just a transportation of maybe new weapons or whatever the case may be. But when you really look at it and you look at the timing of it, right, it's a little interesting, all right? Because you just had, what's his name? Gavin Newsom. He mentioned he did something recently. I forget exactly what it was. I'm going to have to go back and look it up again. But he recently signed something right, in the sense of fighting BF, right? Perfect, right? So that's something to look forward to, right? They said there's a case out there as well. So we'll see. Again, the same playbook. They might rerun it, but this time a lot more straight to the point. As in, they're not playing around. It's just going to be draconian right off the bat because they know how much they can push. They're going to pick up where they left off at. They're going to pick right up from there and step on the gas a little bit more because they don't have much time. Okay, they don't have much time, man. All right, get this quick precept here, and then we're going to close it out. Right, there's a book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Start off at 1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." Right, so pretty much again, woes is going into troubles, right? And it's going to be a worldwide trouble, okay? Because it's a global thing. All right, it's a global thing. 194 nations, all right, all under that so-called UN pact. And when you hear what these devils are saying, well, it's definitely going to be a time of woe. Okay, it's all throughout the world, right? It says, "Gird up yourselves, and with cloths of sack and hair." Right, that's a spirit of lamentation. Right, it says, "Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Right, that's the troubles. Okay, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back, right? The missiles. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble, when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away, right? So that's why we're seeing all these things happening, and ain't no government on the face of this earth that could do anything about it, right? None. I don't care who you are. Once the Lord has spoken it, and when he sends them angels down, and we're going to get that, right? It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? And this is all, again, prior to the missiles dropping on this place, there's going to be a time of extreme anguish. That's why it says a time like never before. Jeremiah 30:7. Okay? And we're going to need spiritual power and what is known as divine intervention, all right, on our behalf in order to make it out through, right? Daniel 12:1. Okay? That's divine intervention. The angels coming, all right, to deliver us from whatever hardships we may face, all right? It says, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Here's a key. It says, the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, shall threaten, right? You want to call everybody a T, right? The real terrorist himself, the ultimate terrorizer, all right, of these heathen nations, those who do wicked, right? First and foremost on the list, Esau, Edom, right? The Heavenly Father is threatening you, okay? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, okay? So this ain't no debate. You could push all this propaganda you want. At the end of the day, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, okay? That's your end. That is your end. All right. Let's get that in Habakkuk. Okay, the 3rd chapter. All right. This chapter is man. Oh man. Right here. There's a book of Habakkuk chapter 3, start off at verse 13. It says, thou winnest forth for the salvation of thy people, right? Starts with the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, even for salvation with thine anointed, Yahushai. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked, Esau, Edom, starting with Amalek, by discovering the foundations onto the neck, Selah. Thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. Yeah, that was their mindset. So all this New World Order shit they're doing is to ultimately fulfill their goal of wiping out the house of Israel, starting with the nation of Judah. Okay, that's always been their goal. If they can do that, then they think in their minds that, well, there'll be no more Israelites for the Lord to come and save. So then we get to stay here in our kingdom and keep on going. You know, but that's never gonna happen. All right, that's never gonna happen, man. Okay. All right. So yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that out real quick. All right. Actually, let's finish off with this real quick. Verse 16. It says, when I heard Habakkuk 3 verse 16, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. You hear that? Right? So you got Esau, he got his troops, whatever, military, whatever. But when the Lord is coming back, he's coming back with the thousands of heaven, with his troops. Okay? And you're going to have that intergalactic war, all right, as it's spoken of in Revelation, the 12th chapter, okay, about the war in heaven. All right, in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, all right, Yahushua coming back down, and the innumerable multitude rushing up on him and getting cooked and smoked up out of there. All right, within 1 hour, the whole job is done. All right, and that includes America's destruction as well. Okay, But this is all leading to that. It's all leading to that, man. All right. So these are again the signs that leads to the big event. Okay, the big event, man. So let's gear it up. Stay geared up and get ready. It's coming. Anyway, I'm leaving it off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash, Thawadi Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.
Understand that your money supply, your government is paying interest to private banks for bills that should be free of interest to you. I mean monetary control. I mean cameras on the corner. I mean thumb scans at the post office and at the driver's license, which they're doing now. I mean the banks. I mean all this, controlling your life. I mean bigger and bigger police forces with more and more totalitarian policies. All they do is buy our government up for peanuts and then control our monetary system. So understand, folks, this is why you never hear about this in the mainstream press, because they're owned and controlled by these mass bank conglomerates that want nothing less but total slavery.